Okay, today is Friday. Um, today's Friday, right? Today's Friday, and uh, and the past couple weeks have been a very difficult trading environment for me. The reason why it was very difficult for me was because I started to uh, revert back to the old days in trading, which is essentially not a good thing. Okay. And so what I've noticed about so a couple of things that occurred, which is essentially, uh, and I can identify it based on analyzing, comparing it to a game of chess because I cannot because I'm uh, so I've been playing online chess for a couple of decades, but my skill set hasn't increased. But I've experienced things in it that tells me what I need to do in order to improve. So in a game of chess, there are rules on how the pieces move. There are things that I group together in combination of certain things, like pawn structure. Okay, when it's backed up with another small piece, which is another pawn, and then squeezed between two pieces, uh, I can essentially I can essentially uh, put two pieces in jeopardy of higher value, such as a bishop and a knight. Okay, so I have one pawn that supports another pawn, and then it's threatening both the bishop and the knight, which means that because it's a smaller value, the trade is going to be beneficial for me. And when somebody when somebody plays chess with a grandmaster, a single pawn can mean a difference between a win and a loss. Unless you have Magnus Carlsen who can come back with a queen down kind of thing situation, right? But generally speaking, at a highest level, a single pawn can mean the difference between winning and losing because the strategy is already there. So what I noticed about uh, the correlation between chess and trading is that there are rules, and there are certain things that I need to keep in mind when I'm playing chess, which is there's offense, there's defense. Okay, there's offense and defense, and I have to coordinate that with strategies and the rules. Strategies and the rules and coordination of the offense and defense. So those four things allows me to play a game of chess uh, better than somebody else who may not have those things uh, aligned. So in trading, it's very similar because I have to know the rules, know the strategy, and I have to know what the offense is and what the defense is. Defense is the stop loss. Offense is profit taking, and the strategy that I use is allowing me to uh, uh, have that edge. And the first part is obviously the rules. Okay, I have to know the rules. Okay, so obviously there's quite a few rules of trading. It's not just buying and selling. There are other rules. The other rule is okay. Uh, so on a forex market and the futures, there's gold, there's UJ, UC, and EU. There's also the Nasdaq and also the Dow and also the S&P. Okay, there's also Bitcoin, but I don't trade Bitcoin very much. But each of those has a unique way in which they trade. The EU is tightly uh, it has a tight spread, okay? Because a lot of people trade that. Now UJ at a lot of times what it will do is it'll behave very similarly to the Nasdaq. Okay, so I gotta be aware of these things, and then I have to apply the strategy that I have, also thinking about So it's very very similar to like a professional game, really. It's like it's like Monday Night Football, right? All the planning was there, but when the heat of the moment is there, when the kitchen is really hot, are you able to like stay in it? Are you able to get unfrazzled? And am I able to keep myself from being frazzled and keep trading the way that I'm supposed to be trading? And what I've noticed is that something happened to me the past couple weeks, which caused me to deviate from the trading strategy that I have. And uh, so I need to. So I have to. It's a. It's a. It's essentially just like a game of chess. And so once I become acclimated enough to the game of chess, uh, relatably to the game of trading. It's like it's a game of trading. Essentially, trading is essentially a game of trading. Okay, game of trade. It is essentially a game of trading. And so, how do I best? Because I've see uh, the advent of the cell phones allowed me to, and people who are on like chess.com, it allows me to play chess like every like I do a 1 minute chess, fast chess, like day trading, like a essentially it's very similar to like scalping. Okay, so in chess there's like a 1 minute chess. It's a bullet chess, right? And so a lot of thinking has to be on the fly, and all everything has. It's like I suppose it's like a speeding train, and the balloons are tied to the train on the outside, and these balloons have rules and strategies and risk management, all that stuff just dangling about as the bullet train just speeding train, right, as it goes. So in trading, in that respects, is a speeding bullet train that has birthday balloons that are tied to the outside, okay, and it's moving at 300 miles an hour. And I have to keep in mind, I have to sap into that balloon that is tied to the train of the ideas of the rules, the strategies, and offense and the defense. Defense meaning properly adjusting to the risk size based on the security that I'm trading. So, so, so trading is essentially a game of trading, just like a game of chess. That's what I've. That's so I need to wrap my head around that and keep that in mind as I keep trading. So that means that in order for me to be a grandmaster of trading, I have to keep at it. Unlike playing chess, where 20 years later I have the same skill set, I need to keep honing it, processing. Otherwise, it's going to be the same. Okay, it's going to be the same amount because I haven't reached the level where I have gone past the point where the glass ceiling is called consistency. Consistency is the glass ceiling. In a corporate environment, there's apparently a glass ceiling. Once you get above that, you're in an executive position, and you crossed it. You crossed to the other side of the executive position. So it's called a glass ceiling, right? It's the glass ceiling. And so in trading, it is crossing over to the other side of that consistency. That's what it is.